Today, I am privileged to have former IAS officer turned activist turned politician Sasikanth Senthil. So, how do you recall your early days as an UPSC aspirant? Many people strive to get to the position where what you have achieved. You ranked ninth all India in UPSC. So, what do you say on this?
My struggle was like anybody's struggle in UPSC, nothing much very different. But I happened to go through a lot of different professions. I was a teacher for some time, and then I was a software engineer, and then finally, when UPSC clicked in 2009, it was as pleasant for anybody else as not much different. So the build up to the UPSC was something which I always cherish because I got exposed to a lot of voluntary organizations, and so my preparations was not very much from the bookish point of view, but from a very practical point.
Sir, after 3 years, your resignation from UPSC has been accepted. Why did you quit civil service? What prompted you, especially given the public support you had across the state?
Yeah, as you rightly pointed out, I had a very good tenure in my service. I'm very grateful to the people of Karnataka for having accepted me wherever I went, be it Chitradurga, Raichur, or Dakshin Kannada. I could have certainly continued for some more time, but I was also bothered simultaneously by the state in which our country was going. At that time, there was Article 370 abrogation by the central government, and that was not an isolated incident, but it was a series of incidents which I saw very clearly that this is a very solid majoritarian attack on the very ethos of the country. So I have from a very young age decided that I will be in public life. So if that was the case, then I had to choose between civil service or to fight these forces from outside. And in civil service, you know very well that we have our conduct rules, and we're not supposed to be political, supposed to be objective, we're
Yes.
supposed to be impartial. So it won't be ethical of me to continue inside the service and raise voices. So I had to take a call to get out and fight these forces. So my primary reason of getting out of civil service was to fight these forces and do what I can to protect the idea of India.
And the people say that after so many reports have also come up that you were not liked by the politicians because of your uttermost commitment to the work and your fight to the land and sand mafia in Dakshina Kannada. So you were called as pro people bureaucrat, but you choose to quit UPSC and now joined politics. What do you say on this?
So, if you ask me if I see politics, how do I see politics? I see politics as standing with the people, standing with the struggles of people. For me, is politics. So, if that yardstick is put, I'd been doing that for a long time. And as you rightly said, the people were always very kind to me. But at the same time, I also didn't have major issues with the politicians. Politicians are very brilliant in that they know which officer is like what and what to ask them and what not to ask them. Fortunately, I never got asked anything which I had to refuse. I didn't have any pressures from them, but it was a very independent decision that I didn't like the way India was being led, and I was always apprehensive that what kind of an India that I will leave to my children and go. And I certainly didn't want an India which is like majoritarian and fascist and working on people's hatred. So I had to fight that. That became my priority. So my only option was to get out and do that.
You were a teacher.
Yeah.
What prompted you to take UPSC?
Yeah. No, I was not. I did teaching for some time. No, prompting was very simple. That I decided that I should be in public life after my stint in software. If I had to be in public life, I was exploring options in voluntary organizations and NGOs. And somebody told me government is the biggest NGO. Why don't you try that? So when I started preparing for the civil service, and I really this preparation took me to different places. So it was a logical conclusion that I come into civil services.
So after 2 years, after a year of quitting IAS, you joined Congress in Tamil Nadu. Why Congress?
Congress was also a very conscious decision by myself. After my resignation, I was working with a lot of voluntary organizations, especially in the NRC, anti-NRC and CA movement. I was very active.
Yeah,
Um,
you took part in the
yes,
anti-CA NRC
yes,
movements
yes, yes,
and
yes,
raised voice
yes, yes, yes,
now and then.
yes. So at that time, I realized, um, my understanding of fascism is like this: that it has only one language to speak, and that is violence. So I was expecting violence to happen somewhere, and then exactly it happened in Delhi, and Delhi riots was
Yeah,
done. So at that point, I thought, you simply staying with people, asking people to fight, and shed blood is not going to get a permanent solution. The permanent solution has to come political. And when I thought which party or which group is reflecting my thoughts, and my thoughts is always constitutional, and I only found one party, that is Congress, which has always spoken about the constitution, and I believe the manifesto of Congress is the constitution. And I also believe Congress is a people's party. It is
acha.
created by people, and it is a congregation. I agree that there are some setbacks because of the organization and the leadership and things like that. But I feel the ideology of Congress is something which is your ideology and my ideology, and we need to protect it. And I was very clear that this is the ideology that I have to work with, irrespective of whether I become big in the organization or not. I was not at all concerned about it, because these things keep changing. But what is the ideology that we need to protect, and what is the ideology we need to give our children, is what I was bothered, and I had only one option, that is Congress.
Sir, you said Congress go by Indian constitution. So, do you mean to say that BJP doesn't obey or admire or follow the Indian constitution?
Absolutely. If to understand that, we need to go a little bit on the history, and the what is the crux of these parties. The crux of Congress was the independence movement. And independence movement, actually, people think it is against the British. It was not against the British alone. It was against a lot of inequalities which was within the Indian society. The whole independence movement, freedom movement, as led by Gandhiji, Ambedkar, and so many others, was against inequality. Creating an equal India was the primary crux, and also creating a pluralistic India was also the crux of the movement. So there were a group of people who never liked this idea of pluralism and equity,
Yes.
and some of them belonging to one religion went and took another country called Pakistan, and a large chunk of them belonging to the other community stayed back. So their idea was, this idea of equity and pluralism cannot be India, and this is the group which formed the BJP and the RSS. So they don't believe in pluralism, they don't believe in equity, they believe in a hierarchical society which was there earlier.
Yes.
So if a party is formed from that crux, everybody understands their first enemy is the Constitution of India in its current format. So that is why they hit at any chance to change the Constitution, and they are on their way to bring back that old India where we had hierarchical structures and caste and everything. So I certainly believe, I don't even believe BJP is a party. I think BJP is a system of human hierarchy, and they don't believe in any of these constitutional values that we.
Your former UPSC colleague Annamalai is making a lot of noise in Tamil Nadu as a BJP president. Where does the Congress stand in Tamil Nadu, and what is the party's primary challenge?
Yeah, Tamil Nadu, of course, the party has a long way to go. In fact, it was a party led by Mr. Kamraj, and even all India people talk about Kamraj's rule at that time, is a government. And now we are very in a very bad shape in Tamil Nadu. We came down from 40% of the vote share to 4 to 5%. A long way to go in Tamil Nadu. But I think right now Tamil Nadu is ready for the Congress is revival. But coming to Annamalai is a very good friend, and he has his own reasons to join the BJP. But whatever it is, Tamil Nadu is a place where Periyar was there. So Tamil Nadu is in a way kind of protected from all this majoritarian communal thought process. It will be very difficult for him to. That is the very reason that he has to make noises
Huh, sir.
to show himself up, because Tamil Nadu doesn't believe in all these things. They don't believe in these differences. BJP with its money power and muscle power will do everything. But I think the Congress's ideology, if picked up by the right people, Tamil Nadu will be ready for Congress in no time, because Tamil Nadu has already experienced the power of cooperation, power of fraternity, power of love and affection. So I think we have a lot of work to do, but that work will be well recognized by Tamilians, is what I feel.
So you were also associated with the Karnataka Congress unit. So you are currently heading the Karnataka election war room. How confident are you of winning election upcoming 2023 assembly elections, and what's your trump card?
Okay, in the recent times, you would have seen that Karnataka, BJP, the kind of government it has provided for the last tenure, uh, everybody, right from the lowest worker to the highest people holding highest offices, understand that this government has really been given a bad governance to Karnataka, in terms of corruption, in terms of carelessness, in terms of sheer apathy towards people's sufferings. So BJP in Karnataka itself has already declared that it is not going to win this election. It's very, people have decided. At the same time, in the election we cannot be complacent on all these things, even though we hold a huge narrative advantage, where people have pointed that BJP is a 40% Sarkara, and we are also able to run some good campaigns. We also have to do a lot of groundwork on kind of micromanaging booths and other things. I think we will surely work on these things. And as I told you, for Congress right now, you see Mr. Rahul Gandhi is traveling 3,500 kilometers on foot. And why does he has to do this? There's no reason why has to do this. But the only point is, Congress is in a very sharp ideological revival, and we feel that the people of Karnataka deserve a better government, and we will 100% provide this in the next tenure, and the people will give us the mandate to do that also.
Sir, you mentioned Bharat Jodo Yatra led by Rahul Gandhi. So you coordinated the Bharat Jodo Yatra across the Karnataka wherever it went, and on ground you see a lot of numbers, but there is also a theory going on that that doesn't translate into votes to the Congress. What do you say on this?
See, in my experience of conducting elections, I have conducted 10 elections myself. One thing I can say is that
Sir.
public opinion is very different from voting behavior.
Yeah,
Why people vote
yeah.
depends on many things. Public opinion is certainly with the Congress. There's no second thought. As you rightly said, we have to convert it into votes, and converting into votes, has a multi-dimensional approach. It is not only just one shot approach. So I think this time, under the leadership of Mr. D.K. Shivkumar and also under the leadership of Mr. Siddaramaiah, Congress workers this time are going to kind of uh, prove their entire commitment to the party. And this election, I would term it as the workers election. Congress workers like me, who have nothing, no party position or nothing, are going to show Karnataka that Congress is and what Congress is capable. And the entire spirit of that is taken from the Bharat Jodo Yatra, where our party leader is himself taking the pains to reach out to the people, and we will surely do it in Karnataka.
Sir, and the last question is: you served almost a decade, a complete decade in executive. So, what are your current your views, your take on the state of executive in India today?
So right now, when we joined service, the our values were very clear on certain things. But that is not to say that all of us were very good. Yeah, yeah, there was always these two mindsets inside bureaucracy also, the dominant mindset and the mindset which believes in equity. It is the same now, but the people who believe in dominance and the people who believe in majoritarianism, now they have been placed in very very powerful positions, and hence there is a perception that the whole bureaucracy is completely changed. But let me assure you, this country has a lot of wonderful bureaucrats, wonderful people who have been holding the offices of democracy for a long time, and they are still there. And I'm sure this democracy will be held back by a simultaneous action from a political party like Congress and like-minded bureaucrats, people who believe in democracy, and also the people themselves. And we will hold back India and protect the idea of India.
Thank you so much, sir.